Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar Racetrack here on Friday. It is November the 3rd, 2017. I'm going to look at all four Breeders' Cup races on today's program from Del Mar, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me tomorrow for my Saturday preview of the Breeders' Cup races from Del Mar. It's an excellent card of racing the next 2 days, and it's great to see the inaugural the first time Del Mar's going to hold the Breeders' Cup. I think it's a great place to host it, and it's just great racing. It's my favorite time of the year. So let's get on to it. I'm going to look at all the Breeders' Cup races 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let me give you an all stakes pick 4, all Breeders' Cup pick 4. So let's get on to it, starting off with the 6th race from Del Mar, where the surf meets the something. The 6th race from Del Mar. It's the 10th running of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Grade 1, purse $1 million. It's for fillies 2-year-olds here. We have an overflow field of 16 horses, but only 14 could go on the turf course. The distance of ground of 1,600 meters for our international viewers here, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the turf course at Del Mar. And I always show the diagram. I'm showing it now too because a lot of the international people don't know the layout of Del Mar, because it's such a different race course than Santa Anita. It's a very short stretch, so you have to keep that in mind. And it's a little quirkiness here and there, but this race, the Europeans have a great record in the juvenile turf, and the juvenile fillies turf, they don't have the best record, but I think this year they're going to change it, because I think this is one of the Europeans are going to win this race. It just matters with which horse, and I think the horse I like that could win this one is going to be the 2-horse Happily. I'm going to go 2, 8, 10, 6 in the superfecta. 2, 8, 10, 6 superfecta. That's basically my top 4. Top pick number 2, Happily. I'm going to actually, before I get on to my analysis of Happily, I said I'm going to play a pick 4 ticket. I'm going to play 2 tickets, a cheap ticket and an expensive ticket. The expensive ticket's probably going to cost about $25. On the cheap ticket, I'm going to single Happily, and on the expensive ticket, I'm going to go a few deep. I'm going to use 2-horse Happily. Maybe to catch a price, I'm going to use the 8-horse Significant Form, and I'm going to use September, so I'm going to go 3 deep in this one. So I'm going to use the 2, 8, and 10 in my pick 4 ticket, the expensive ticket, and then the cheap ticket, I'm going to single Happily. My top pick, Happily, 9-2, Coolmore owned, 2 affiliate by Galileo, Aiden O'Brien trains this one. Ryan Moore coming in to ride this horse. First time Lasix. Last time out, horse had to start the 1st of October at Chantilly in France. Soft ground, 1,600 meters or a mile, in the Prix Jean-Luc Le Gardier Stakes. Horse won by 1/4 lengths, beating the males that day. Didn't have the best start and sat well behind, but this horse quickened up at the end and had a very easy victory at 1-2. A lot of the European horses that are running in this in the Breeders' Cup 2-year-old races don't really have experience going around a turn. This horse probably has the most experience going around a turn by running in Ireland and and also at Chantilly, where it is right-hand turn, but it's not a straight course, which I think is a great kind of getting used to, because today she's going to run around 2 turns for the first time. She's a good post draw, and I just think she'll run a big one. Start before the 10th of September, Curra. 7 furlongs on the turf course in the Moyglare Stud Stakes. Horse won by nose. Again, was 6.5 to 1, and just sat off the pace that day and quickened up nicely and just had a very easy victory of carrying 126 pounds. And then the debutante Curra, 7 furlongs, very wet ground, August the 20th. Horse finished second by 1 1/4 lengths. Again, she that day she just sat off the pace and then quickened up easy in the stretch. Looking over the ground she's run out over, she's only run on dry ground once. That came at Leopardstown in late July in the Flash Stakes. This horse won by 5 lengths that day and quickened up nicely. All the other races this horse has run on were on yielding heavy ground, and she still won, but I just think this horse getting California firm ground here today, I just think she'll run a very big one. I now, like I said, 9-2 in this race. It's not the best of prices, but I think you're going to have to take it. I think this horse will run a very big one, so watch out for her. So to recap my bets for the 6th race from Del Mar, it's the 10th running of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, the Grade 1 Juvenile Fillies Turf. Gonna go with the 2-horse Happily. I'm gonna go 2, 8, 10, 6 in my superfecta, or my top 4. I'm gonna go 2, 8, 10 in my pick 4. And on my cheap ticket, I'm going to single the 2 horse happily on that pick 4 ticket. So now let's get on to race number 7 from Del Mar. The 7th race is the 11th running of the Las Vegas Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile Group 1 race, or Grade 1 race here, for $1 million for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the main track here at Del Mar. 1 mile, 1,600 meters, so basically 1 lap around the circumference of the racetrack. And this is the most wide open race of the afternoon, I think. I'm giving you a superfecta play, and I'm going to go probably even deeper. I'll probably go 5 deep in this race in the pick 4. It's just a very difficult race to look at. My top pick, I like the 7 horse Cupid here. I'm going to go 7-8-6-3 in the superfecta, 7-8-6-3 super. I'm going to use all 4 of those horses in my pick 4, along with the number 9 horse Battle of Midway. So I'm going to go 5 deep here. So basically my top 5 basically in this race is 7, 8, 6, 3, 9. So just get that out there. But my top pick, number 7, Cupid, 8-1. Rafael Bejarano is on this 4-year-old colt, trained by Bob Baffert. John Magnier, the Coolmore Group, owns this horse, so they're going to have a great afternoon if this all comes in. But most recently, this horse had to start the 30th of September at Santa Anita, 1 mile in the Grade 1 Awesome Again, the prep race for the Classic. This horse finished 4th by 2 lengths that day, and just really weakened out of it. Didn't quicken up at all. Well, let me repeat that. Didn't weaken out of it, but didn't quicken up either. He just stayed there. Disappointing run, but I always thought of this horse, since the Derby Trail of 2016, I always thought of this horse being a good miler. He's getting the mile today. A little wide poster, but I think Rafael Bejarano will take this horse just sitting off the pace today, and I think he can quicken up nicely to a great victory. But like I said, throw that last race out. Before that, here at Del Mar, 1 mile on August 23rd, in the HF Bumgark Stakes, whatever the race they called it that day. This horse won by 3/4 length. It was a soft field of 5 horses, but this horse just quickened up nicely and destroyed the field. 40 cents to $1. Easy victory at the end. And then the Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter on May the 27th, Memorial Day weekend. This horse won by 3 1/4 lengths. Wasn't supposed to win that day. Bob Baffert had a few horses in that one, and the other one was supposed to win, but not this one. But this horse, sat back early, which is not what this horse normally does, but sat back early, got the lead going around on the backstretch, and then took off clear. Even though in the lane, this horse was a little swervy a little bit. Might have been a little drunk, like they say, but he swerved a little bit in the stretch, but he had a very nice victory, a little upset at 7-1. And then in the PA Derby, plus that was a horse's first start since the PA Derby, the Pennsylvania Derby of 2016 at Philadelphia Park. This horse finished 8th by 14.5 lengths. He stalked most of the race and didn't really weaken out of it. The closers just got to him that day. But before that, facing Lesser, he won the West Virginia Derby and won the Indiana Derby in 2016 very nicely. He's getting, like I said, he's getting the mile today, which I think this horse should really like. And I think he'll just run an all-around great race. So he'll be my top pick. My second choice here, the 8 horse Accelerate, absolutely loves Del Mar. 4 for 3 on the surface. Victor Espinosa's getting the mount up. John Sadler has a horrible record in the Breeders' Cup, though. That's the biggest question with this horse. If he could, get this horse ready, I think he can win because it's on his home racetrack. But most recently, his first loss at Del Mar, this horse ran a mile and a quarter in the Pacific Classic. This horse finished 3rd by 4 1/4 lengths. Just sat off the pace early on. Collected, ran a hell of a race. Arrogate closed up for 2nd after not the best of runs. But this horse, he pressed the pace and just couldn't get that good closing kick. Cutting back to a mile, which I think is the horse's better distance. I think, again, he'll run a good one also. Before that, in the San Diego handicap, this horse won by 8 1/4 lengths. Is the only other real, the only other real challenger was Airgain. He just didn't fire that day. First start back from Dubai. But this horse sat on the lead. Easy fractions. An all-around great race. And then before then, the Precisionist at Santa Anita, mile 16th, June 24th. Horse finished 3rd by 15 3/4 lengths. Collected just ran a hell of a race. This horse just couldn't keep up with him. And plus his races at Santa Anita were very subpar. But if you look at his races at Del Mar, he's run very nicely. He's a miler. I think he could also win at this race also, along with the other 5 horses I'm going to use on my pick 4 ticket. So, like I said, it's a wide open race. Those are the 2 horses I think could possibly run big ones, along with the other 5. So to recount my bets for the 7th from Del Mar, It's the 11th running of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Gonna go with the number 7 horse Cupid as a top pick. Gonna go 7863 in the superfecta, 7863 super. I'm gonna go 78639 in my pick 4. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Del Mar. The 8th race, it's the 11th running of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, Grade 1 purse, $1 million. It's for Colts and Geldings 2-year-olds here. Field of 16 horses, but only 14 to go. The distance of ground here of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course. 1,600 meters, a mile. Rails at 0 feet. Top pick in this one, I like the number 6 horse here, number 6 Massar. I'm going to go 6872 in the superfecta, 6872 super. Top pick number 6 Massar, 9-2. William Buick gets the leg up for the Godolphin-owned 2-year-old colt by New Approach. Charlie Appleby trains this one, getting Lasix for the first time, which I think is a great thing for this horse. Even though I do not support the Lasix in North American racing, when you have it, when you're allowed to use it, just use it, because I do think it's a cheat, really, but if you have to use it, you have to use it. Well, you don't have to use it, but they have the option to use it, and they're using it. But this horse came out of the same race Happily came out of in France most recently. October the 1st, Chantilly, soft ground, 1 mile in the Prix Jean-Luc Lagardière. This horse finished third by 1.5 lengths that day, and, just sat off the leaders that day and just couldn't quicken up. The soft ground maybe had something to do with it. Today with drier ground, good post draw, I just think this horse will run a little bit better. Start before its stand on September the 2nd in the Solario Stakes. Horse won by 2 lengths. Again, set off the pace early on and then quickened up nicely. Had a very easy victory there going around the turn. And then at Ascot, 7th round in the Chesham Stakes during Royal Ascot. This horse finished third by 2.25 lengths. September ran a hell of a race. This horse, closed up well for third. This horse has the experience of running around a turn, which I really like, running around Sandown and at Chantilly last time out. He's getting a dry turf course here today, and I think he'll run a big one. My superfecta here is 6872 to maybe catch a price in this race. I'll probably go at least 3 deep in the pick 4. I'm going to use the 6 horse Massar. I'm definitely going to use the number 8 horse Voting Control. I think that's probably the best out of all the 2-year-old races on the turf this weekend. I think this is the best chance for the North America horses, the 8 horse Voting Control. I'll use the 7 horse James Garfield, who I think will run a very big one. And I'm going to go 3 deep, so I'm going to go 6, 8, 7 in my pick 4. Going to the 8 horse for a second, Voting Control, my second selection, or my second horse I like. 8-1, Javier Castellano for Chad Brown, 2-year-old colt by Kitten's Joy. This horse most recently ran here in New York at Belmont. September the 30th, mile 16th on the inner turf course in the Grade 3 Pilgrim. Horse finished second by half length. Sat well behind that day, closed up at the end, getting for second, but it wasn't a half bad run, even after a horrible start. But, you don't see a lot of horses close on the inner turf course at Belmont. Today, coming here today where you're going to see a turf course that plays to a little bit of a closer, I think this horse could really close up well and maybe upset at 8-1. And then first career outing came at Belmont, 1 mile Widener turf course, main special weight for 75. Horse won by half length. Another turf course that does not play towards closures. This horse closed up well, had a great move at the quarter pole, and took off clear. Very easy race at the end. If he breaks well, saves some ground, I think you could see this horse closing at the end. So watch out for this horse also. He'll be a definite use on my pick 4 tickets, both of them. So to recap my bets for the 8th from Del Mar, it's the 11th running of the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Gonna go with the 6 horse Massar as a top pick. Gonna go 6-8-7-2 in my superfecta. I'll go 6-8-7 in my pick 4 ticket on the expensive ticket, and my cheap pick 4 ticket, I'm gonna go 6-8. I'll go too deep on that one. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Del Mar. The 9th race is a feature of the afternoon. It's the 34th running of Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff Grade 1 race, purse $2 million. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 on the Del Mar main dirt course. Mile and 1/8, 1,800 meters. My top pick in this one, I like the number 4 horse here, number 4, Abel Tasman. I'm going to go 4-2-5-6 in the superfecta, 4-2-5-6 super. Top pick number 4, Abel Tasman, 4-1. Mike Smith is on the spot, Baffert, train 3-year-old filly by Quality Road. This horse has had a great season so far. She'll be a single on my cheap ticket. I'll go too deep on my expensive pick four ticket. So I'm going to go 4-2 on the expensive pick four ticket, 4 single on my cheap ticket. But my top pick four: Abel Tasman, Mike Smith. Most recently, his horse had a start on the 23rd of September at Parks Racing in Philadelphia. Miles 16th and the grade 1 Cotillion. Horse finished second by 2 lengths. Didn't break that well that day. Had a horrible start. Had to really be used a lot early on in the race and just couldn't catch its tiz well at the end. Today has to break a little bit better. Has a better post rough in the 4-hole. And I think if this horse breaks well, I think this horse could have a career race here today. Start before in the coaching club American Oaks at Saratoga, Monday, July 23rd. Horse won by head. Again, didn't have the best of starts that day. Closed up well at the end, and and then started weakening right before the wire. But a late almost got to this horse, but this horse held on. It was a great race after that. And then the Acorn at Belmont a mile on June the 10th. Horse won by length. Didn't break that well. Was far behind, but closed up well at the end. And then the horse's career race came in the Kentucky Oaks, where this horse won by 1 1/4 lengths. Where this horse basically broke horribly at the beginning. Wide post drop from the parking lot. This horse overcame that with the pace meltdown and closed up well to a very nice victory there. She's a very nice horse. She's 2-1 at Del Mar. Her 2 starts came as 2-year-olds. First career outing in a main special weight going 6 furlongs, which I don't think this horse really liked. She finished 5th that day, and then went on to win a lounge race here last November at Del Mar going 7 furlongs, where she won by half length in a field of 5 horses and just ran easy. She's a very nice horse. I think she'll run a big one, so watch out for this horse here today. So to recap my bets for the 9th from Del Mar, it's the 34th running of the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Distaff. Gonna go with the number 4 horse Abel Tasman. I'm going to go 4-2, 5-6 in the superfecta. I'll single the 4 horse on my cheap pick 4 ticket, and I'm going to go 4-2 on my expensive pick 4 ticket. So this is good luck to all. Join me tomorrow here on YouTube for my Saturday Breeders' Cup preview, and hopefully everybody makes some money. So good luck everybody, and join me tomorrow.